you might not have noticed it. It was revealed when YNW Melly's bonds were actually released. WE was the first to reveal that Melly had been given a bond for one of his 6 charges, which makes it quite concerning that he had spent 2,295 days in jail without a bond or a guilty charge despite a previous mistrial. As Melly's $500,000 bond documents were released inside the courtroom, his mother even spoke outside the building with excitement.
And I know I said I would I'll keep everybody updated with what's happening. I know right now we're waiting. So basically the judge is going to do, I guess, a written order. So we're just waiting, and that order can come any minute, or it could come tomorrow. I don't know. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting. So everybody just keep praying, keep having faith. Oh, Tessa, stop. I've been crying too. It's been a long time coming, you know.
He would be watched approaching the courthouse due to his bond package after the judge informed him that his one bond had been granted. Greetings, this is the state of Florida versus Jamal Demons. Present is Mr. Demon. Can you hear us? The contract will eventually be drafted by attorneys, but Melly's legal team suggested posting an ambiguous bond that would be paid $300 by his record company if it was approved. They also hired 24-hour security to keep an eye on Melly and told the judge that he would be placed under home arrest and wear an ankle monitor, which a rapper wrote, "I feel that boy Melly is coming home." The prosecution would file documents for one horrifying reason: to try Melly and Bortland together at the next trial issue. Eventually, the judge will ask the prosecution if they have a defense before Melly is formally released from confinement, because they did something extremely disturbing. The main characters are Amelia's ex-girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton, and YNW Portland.
Together, it is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It's just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
These days, it's generally acknowledged that if YNW Portland knows he didn't commit this crime, he can't just sit there and serve his time in prison. This increases the likelihood that he will later blame YNW Melly, but you might be surprised to learn that during the initial trial, Melly's attorneys attempted to hold Bortland responsible for the entire incident.
Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with 2 bodies, car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
Not since World War I, Cortland Henry. To hide the deaths and provide information about the powder residue, Melly's own lawyer is exposing that YNW Bortland was the one who was lying to the federal government and that he had powder residue on his hands from handling a pistol. They even brought in a forensic scientist.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of powder residue and two component particles. And the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of tar residue and 1 two-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was residue present on the hands.
It really annoys WWE Bland that this is the only reason he hasn't posted anything on social media since Melia's initial trial. On the same day that it was made public, Melly's mistrial was reported, and WW Boland shared an enigmatic tweet about it. He would add, using a handshake emoji, "Mind games don't work on people like me," as if he were accepting a bargain. Given that the prosecutor wants both Portland and Mariah, it's likely that Portland's own attorneys told him to remain silent until Melly was found guilty.
Her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
With the judge's assistance, she was now able to agree to be released from detention. She would post on Facebook, "My plan, not God's," and write, "Thank you, my village. I love you all so much." There is bad news for YNW Melly because Mariah's iCloud account contained disturbing evidence that Melly was coerced into not testifying. This is known as witness tampering. Melly faces a life sentence in prison, which is a terrifying prospect regardless of whether she is proven guilty of removing the sack chaser. The judge told her that if she agreed to testify against Melly, she could leave right away.
6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
The federal government has prohibited Melly from using a phone in jail for nearly a year after he was caught tampering with jail phones when things got really bad. His mother even went on to interview him and blamed the county jail for not providing Melly with a phone or even a mailbox. Melly's current case has nothing to do with the witness tampering case.
Been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
If it is established that Melly was using jail phones to interfere with witnesses, they have been banned. The terrifying part is that Melly's attorneys were able to defend him at this point, telling the judge why he should be released from custody. His mother's interview began with her declaring that it is illegal for him to be treated like a human being while in custody, even though the feds would face $1 million lawsuit if they didn't have the evidence to back up the claims of witness tampering.
You saw Melly's statement just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life. As a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
Since they would subsequently provide the federal authorities with the evidence from the initial trial, proving Melly wasn't there when the crime occurred, GPS data indicates that WW Melly got out of the Jeep they were in and was spotted running and hiding in a bush.
The part where he's saying that someone just shot the car up and was trying to shoot them. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, yeah. He's like, yeah, there's some. I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Sack and Juvie? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're...
Melly's attorneys would then present this crucial piece of evidence to the new court to demonstrate that it was a genuine drive-by after it was shown that no firearm had ever been discovered during the initial trial.
The first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what firearm was used.
Okay.
If there had been a real drive-by, the guilty party would have removed the firearm, making it impossible to find it. The prosecution would then make its case and arguments in support of the guilty party's prolonged imprisonment. The feds are beginning, with evidence from Mellier's phone, so please let me know in the comments if you have any more compelling evidence. He texted his confession to the crime a few hours after it happened. If there had been a real drive-by, the guilty individual would have stolen the firearm, ensuring it was never discovered. The prosecution would then make their case and provide arguments in support of his prolonged detention. The feds are beginning with evidence from Mellier's phone, so please let me know in the comments if you have any more compelling evidence. He sent his confession via text message hours after the occurrence.
Jay, in his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly count says what?
After that, SHA.
Additionally, a saved video from someone's Facebook Live was discovered on Mellier's phone, demonstrating Melly and Bortland's response to the crime just 6 hours after it occurred. In interviews 11/20/11:46, they appeared utterly unconcerned with the loss of their two best friends. But later, a new and intriguing piece of information would surface from a dissident O-Black member who disclosed that the crime was motivated by YNW Melly's failure to compensate the other YW co-workers.
Told him that he's two friends.
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Vaughn was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walk the bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
Melly told King Vaughn about this secret, but regrettably, Vaughn told the Oblak members about it prior to his death. The fact that YW is a legally recognized LLC allowed Melly and Bortland to make money from live performances, sales of clothing, and music releases. When the money was transferred to the YW company's bank account, Sakasur and Juvie allegedly requested a bank account transfer. Despite their lack of attempt, they kept a portion of the money. But you might be wondering how much money YW Melly's musical career has left over. It recently went viral when YW Melly's mother revealed that she created a fan account during his trial because it was so popular online.
I'm gonna be starting to own, and I gotta be honest with y'all, man, like, this is perplexing. The reason why it's perplexing is because I can't understand why she's doing this. Your son is fighting for his life. How much, you know, there's certain mothers in hip hop, and you probably could name a few, I won't name all of them, that I feel like their son became stars, but they also wanted to be stars as well. Blueface's mom is one of them. The situation between Melly's mom and Melly, I always thought was interesting, but I never thought she'd be doing this. If you're wondering if she's doing this for money, this can't be a money play.
In a serious interview with Jaime King and Adam B 2 years ago, Adam was seen telling Mellier's mother that he believes he has spent a lot of money on lawyers, which would refute DJ Academic's assertion that money has no bearing on anything. She chuckled as his brother reprimanded him for his foolish spending.
That he spent a lot of money on lawyers. Like an amount that would probably...
That kid spent a lot of money on a lot of things that shouldn't have been spent on.
Really? Like what else?
And cars, jewelry. And he's not even out to wear the jewelry. I'm like, why are you buying jewelry and you're not here to wear the jewelry?
No, definitely lawyers are probably the best thing you can spend.
That's
money
what bro. But he's good with lawyers, bro. Like, money ain't an issue for lawyers. Like, he's fine, but it's just like, it was a lot of stuff that should have went to lawyers that he didn't spend on lawyers. And I'm like, bro. And now it's like, he don't even want the chain no more.
That child spent a lot of money on things that shouldn't have been spent at all, like cars and jewelry, and he's not even wearing the jewelry. I'm like, why are you buying jewelry when you're not here to wear the jewelry? Nevertheless, I would assume that he spent a significant amount of money on lawyers, an amount that would probably That's what I mean, dude. But he's excellent with attorneys. Like, money isn't a problem for lawyers. Like, he's fine. But it seems like he didn't spend money on lawyers when there was a lot of stuff that should have gone to them. And now it seems like he doesn't even want to chain no.